about it, and there's 5 stocks I identified that we could use to trade. And but anyway, you ought to get the link and uh, use those use that presentation day to give you a foundation. I'm gonna get more and more into it, but I do think it's a big opportunity here in 2025. Probably the
Yeah,
first major opportunity I've seen in the market in 2025 that will really uh, put some coin, I think, in your pocket just by following along in this nuclear uh, deal. And I'm gonna stay focused there on this because look, Bruce is already reporting. Copy and paste that, let everybody see. Bruce took advantage of that video that I gave today. That's nice, Bruce. Way to go.
and
Way to go.
Tom, it was kind of interesting because we were talking about numbers a little bit earlier, and
Yeah.
like you put out a QQQ trade in while you were in that class, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
I did that
and
too.
and we talked about how do you figure out the numbers, the strike prices, and we went through and looked at a number you might sound familiar to you, 539 in the QQQ.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, last year's high. You know, you pay attention to things like this, whether you're using it in the QQQ or in NNE or whatever market you're trading.
Yeah.
Understand how to read markets. That's going to help.
Right. And people, and I told people the day after, and I'll bring this up before I get into it tonight, but the day after Christmas, for 20 days, in my opinion, was some of the hardest markets. The trend trade, they were commodity type markets, but not stock type markets. The trends were lasting an hour, 2 hours at a time and chewing you up. And finally, I slowed down and waited. And then the light went off last week, and we started our run again. And since last week, we've been hitting it, getting on the base just about every day with different opportunities. And the day was huge for people that were at that presentation because I think that being able to point people where, what door to open really makes me feel good. And I know that, for Bruce's report, he made 41%. I'm sure other people did good too. Todd just said he got out at the high today on that stock. Way to go, Todd. But, there's going to be more opportunities in that area as we go forward. The other thing I did today, before I get into tonight's presentation, I talked to more people today than I have in a long time. And that's my Project Zebra that I'm doing. And such great customers. I mean, I spent time talking to people, and Dave was one of them, just Joe, Rob. There's a lot of great people. Uh, Tammy. I mean, it's all over the board. I talked to a bunch of people today, and the hard part for me, honestly, was I was seeing trades during the day, and it was good. Lori's up 300. All right, way to go, Lori. Way to go, Todd. But I got a whole bunch of what I would say a lot of insights that I'm going to be teaching and sharing with people this year. And let me get into tonight's presentation, Chuck. Uh, Let everybody see it, look at the numbers. But we got a good market finally, folks, that we can take advantage of. Let's take advantage of it while it's there. They come and go, but like I said, right now I think we got a good opportunity to get in here and mix it up a little bit and be a little aggressive. So, Chuck, thank you for being here, and I'm glad you're safe there in Mobile. Stay off the roads until the sun comes out and the roads are dry. That's what I would do. So, anyway, let's do this real quick. It's been a while since I asked. Everybody, type in where you're signing in from tonight. Type in where you're signing in from. Ed from Belize, okay. St. Louis, Illinois, Sacramento, wow, Phoenix, Ohio, Minneapolis. Whoa, hey Jim, Scott, Sam? Hector. Hey, Hector. I got you on my list to call you tomorrow, Hector. If I call and you're on that list that volunteered, I got so many. Uh, area code will be 251. Hey, John Toole, one of my favorites. Hey, John, Betsy, and John. There's David from Dalton, Georgia. Carpet capital, right? Dalton, Georgia. St. Pete, Florida. I used to live in St. Pete, Jeff, in my 20s, driving across that bridge. Hey, Carrie, I got it to call you tomorrow too. Got it to call you tomorrow. I'm gonna get through some more tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll knock it down. And I appreciate everybody's interest in Project Zebra. So, uh, do me a favor, spend some time, go over it a couple times on the tape that I made today at 11. Wasn't on the schedule. I put it out there, had a big crowd. It's about nuclear stocks that I'm going to be focusing on, both with stock and options, okay? And yeah, different things, different things. All right, let's get started. Let's go through it. Welcome to here, YouTube. I've been developing a. Let me tell you what I've been developing for YouTube. You're gonna love it. A five. That's right, a 5 lesson series that I'll put on YouTube. We'll get the slides done maybe next week. And I'll start cutting it for everybody. 5 lessons. What I did. Let me tell you a story. I hate to do this before I really get into it, but one of my students was in town and he had 4 of my books. That's right. I forgot about the very first book called Roadmap to the Markets. And I looked at that book and I thought to myself, wow, this reminds me of how I got started. And so the first thing I'm going to do, I ordered that book. I didn't even have a copy of it when I saw it. Fred had it and I signed it and I said, I was thinking about it. So I ordered it off Amazon and they said I got the last copy. But I was thinking about that book. It was the very first one I did. But it brings back a lot of good thoughts that still work today. And so anyway, I'll be doing some lessons out of that book for people on YouTube. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. I got surprised this week because I never think about that book anymore. It was done before I did the Winning the Day Trading Game, The Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win by Wiley. It was, I guess, self-published book that we'd put together. Anyway, it was a pretty good book. Pretty good book. So I'll be doing that. Get joined every day. If you listen to me every morning, I will give you the inside track on market direction. Does market direction help you if you got it during the day? Using a simple formula that I use, I give it to everybody every day. How many people love that pivot number that I give every day? Every day I do it. It's free, totally free. I give it to you after I figure it out in the morning, and it helps you get on the right side of the market. That's why when I ask people, what do you think about my market timing? And most people will give me a pretty high rating because of what I do on that free T-Buzz TV in the morning. Got a lot of people in there that want that number. I do it every morning. I know it about 5 or 6 in the morning, and it just gets you on the right side. Okay? So that's one reason you want to be there and have it. Yeah, everybody saying, I love the number, very helpful. Oh, Dave from Florida. Hector, let me direct you to our white papers. Jonathan, will you post for the new people all the white papers they ought to read? Thanks. That's a great question, Hector. Great question. We put together a whole package to give people. My method that I've developed over 40 years. It's not like moving averages. It's not like what you'd get off Wall Street. My method works. It's sort of a takeoff on Jesse Livermore. And by the way, there's another good book to read, The World's Greatest Stock Trader. Okay. Very good book. Okay. And so the question was, what's the pivot number, Will? What's the pivot number? Sorry about that. Should have told you. Anyway, Jonathan posted it in there. It's the white papers, the reference bars, and everything that's involved. Okay? That was the question. Hello, Mark from North Carolina. All right, let me get into this. Risk involved in trading, we know about that. We got about 20 days of that ugly thing called risk after Christmas. Past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, the market is set up for those that will stand up and take advantage of it. There's a lot of opportunities here. They abound. You got to have a process in place. We have that, and we will take advantage of it as each day goes by, each week goes by, each month goes by. All right, if you look at the market right now, it's off to a good start here in January. E-minis up 2.7%. NASDAQ's up 3%. Dow's up 3%. DAX, look at what Germany's doing, up 7%. Gold's up 4%. Crude is up 4%. I would watch crude for going lower. I think crude is going to hang around, but I do think eventually it's going to drop. So keep your eye on crude. Bonds are flat for the year. Right now, the market is in pretty decent shape. It goes up, it corrects in the evening, and goes up the next morning. That's sort of the pattern that we have right now. And we try to take advantage of that. Okay? And the presentation, Rochelle, he put the link in here. You had to scroll back. If not, maybe he'll post it again if he's feeling real bouncy. But it's in the members area, I think. Okay. Now, 10 tickers. Tesla, not above 441. NVIDIA went to 149 this week. That was a great call. MSTU had set up. AEP, I got it 98.55, getting close. Berkshire has met resistance at 470. It should go higher at some point. Joby above 911. XLE below 91.89. Gold did go above 251, so that's 2 that's hit. QQQ hit, that's 3, 525. 3 out of 10 should have paid you with my 10 ticker system this week. When you see those numbers exceeded or dropped, they're good trades. That's how that works. Jonathan, make a note. I need to do a video for YouTube on 10 tickers. A slide where when I do these 10 tickers, most people know how to use it, but I need to do a application techniques training for people on YouTube about my 10 tickers. It's just too good to ignore, right, folks? Those that know how to use it. Any questions about the tickers? Am I out of those? Yes, I'm out right now. Out right now. Today is Wednesday. Usually Thursday is like a correction morning, and then we start over again to finish out the week. Part 2 tonight. We're going to talk about the pre-inauguration profit plan or post-inauguration profit plan. He's here. The table is changed. It's set now, and there's a lot of opportunities. So we have a calendar. The predetermined dates are set to pay out good this year. Now, let me go through this. The profits and performance shown are not typical of any one individual subscriber. We make no future earnings claims, and you may lose money. That's what trading's about. Most of the trades expressed are from historical data in order to demonstrate the potential of the system. Going back to March 28th to August 16th, on live trade alerts, the average trade return, winners, losing combined, was 10%. Not bad. Can't guarantee any specific trade, but the group really pay. There's always a high degree of risk involved in trading. You can see our terms on the DTI homepage for more information. In trade, there's going to be some losers. You know about those. They don't go your way. There's no black box miracle system that prints out winning trades automatically. The purpose of our research and work with traders is to give you an edge. You need that edge going in there, putting your money at risk. We do that very well. If you listen, if you learn, there's always a lot of value involved in our program. Now, if I told you the next 9 days could define your entire trading year, how many people would say, "Hey, I want a piece of that"? The next 9 days. When Trump now in the Oval Office, the next 9 days, there'll be some great opportunities that we could see all year long. A series of critical economic events are set to hit the market over the next 9 days. There's the dates. We've got our trend, and now you're going to see the movement in a short period of time that you can take advantage of. I hope you do it. Not just economic events, they're first economic events under the Trump administration. Just like before, with Trump, you don't waste time. You set on ready. The multiple presidential orders on his first trading day created opportunities and will give you a chance to make things happen. 46 executive orders came out that will affect things that we do. And they did more than that, but I'm talking about the economic side of what we saw. Let's get positioned to take advantage of these over the next 9 days and throughout 2025. Before we get started, I want you to take a good look at that quarter. Might just be the most powerful trading tool in the entire market, what I'm going to teach and show you how to take advantage of. Well, most folks are paying high price for options for popular stocks, Apple, Nvidia, or Microsoft. I've discovered a way to tap in what would be one of the cheapest options on the market. Trades that cost 25 cents. That's right, 25 cents. And entering on certain predetermined dates, we have been able to watch these 25-cent trades, sometimes double, sometimes triple. You got to have the right set of metrics to do these trades. They finally set up. It's time to pay attention. Like in November, we had a 104% gain on one of these 25% options, 182% in January, triple in March of last year. Now, I go where you get the highest return off the money you risk, and that's the strategy that I'm going to use. The 25-cent trader, it's time. In 1992, I was one of only 50 professionals in the entire world that got handpicked by the CME to receive my very own Globex terminal. For those that are new, the Globex terminal was a forerunner to electronic trading. It traded around the clock. It was the front runner. I managed the firm so successfully, it eventually bought out. I helped do that by a $1.3 trillion institution, Morgan Stanley. Now, the finer details of the 25-cent trade have been very tightly held. And I've shared a few of those in some of the trainings I've done. And here's what people had to say. Oh, John liked the 25. He loves the fact to trade more than just a couple of contracts at $25 a shot. Feels like Mr. Big. Or Jim. We got a four-bagger there, 25 cents. He loves making money with those 25-cent trades. Oh, Carlos from Texas. He's here tonight. 5x his original investment. Money happens quick. You don't have to hang around for these things to work. Now, if you're trying to guess specific opportunity tied 25-cent trades, hang tight. We're not talking about trading penny stocks. We're not talking about risky earnings plays. We're not talking about certain complex options, naked options, anything like that. Each and every trade example we'll share today could have been taken in any regular brokerage account. Trading most basic form of call options available. Everybody know what the most basic form is, right? The 25-cent trader set the day before one of these predetermined dates. That's when the magic happened. So we're going to do something a little different. For the longest time, I refused to touch these type options. Then I focused on it and found there was a big edge if you know what you're doing. That's because these type of options typically will lose money and expire. But the recent discovery that I found out about working with the team changed my whole perspective 180 degrees. That's because only trading these 25-cent options are very specific, determined dates. Got to pick the dates. We got a remarkable 78.3 hit rate. Can you imagine that rate with these kind of options? That's good, folks. No, it's better than good. That's great. Like back in September of last year, S&P was out of the bear market, roaring higher. Looking at the chart, hit some new highs. Everybody was guessing. Guess what would come next? September 16th, none of that really mattered because September 18th, a predetermined date marked on the calendar, mid-month, and I'll teach you about how this works with the reports. So as long as someone took 30 seconds to place that trade before the market's closed on a basic call option, you'd had a 100% gain. Now, what does that mean at a 25-cent option? If you put $1,000 into a 25-cent option and you get a 100% gain, how much money do you have? Think about that. That could have been enough to double investment on one trade that wouldn't cost folks hardly anything to get in on. Let's say someone started with that small thousand I was just talking about, you'd have had $1,000 in profit. That's fun to do with a small amount of outlay. Now, not a life summon changing sum of cash, but no chump change either, especially for only a couple minutes of work. The average Joe spends about $63.98 a month. We're hoping it's going to go down, but that's pre-tax. Now it's sitting at a whopping $78.75 per month. It's done nothing but skyrocket in 2024. Heck, look at the price of eggs. So you're already, if you got an average salary, about $14.77 in the hole. Don't like being in the hole. Most people are sliding backwards financially. But with one of these 25-cent trades, you could have got a little bit of extra help. And that $1,000 profit could come only after taking one of the trades that month. That month was a good month with the nice reports producing 3x the opportunities in January. Not bad. Well, it's January, folks. We're ready to do it again, including 4 triple-digit gains. By now, you're probably wondering what exactly is going on. What are these predetermined dates I keep talking about that we've uncovered that allow these 25-cent trades to move? The details in a moment. Handful of these dates, a copy of the calendar, and all these predetermined dates are set to pay out this year. You got to know these dates. Before we get there, got to be straight. I'm typically not a directional swing for the fences type trader. That's because I just showed you all traders will have winners and losers. Having that accuracy rate is the key. That's how you swing for the fences my way. Now, if you know me, I don't like taking big risks, so I wait for opportunities and I'll set out if the trade's not there. That's why my career has been focusing on high opportunities, 20% at a time. But this is that add-on to go for the home run. Now, some of my top students have reached jaw-dropping goals using this strategy. Here are some of the best stories. Look at that, 135% return on his investment. Oh man. Now Laura P. been working with me for years. Yesterday she took 9 of what I taught her and able to use these this approach. $2,200 in profits, not bad. Let's say that 10,000 at that pace a week. That'll pay the bills. Now, Denise says she's had nothing but winning trades with it. Up until now, she's for 10 or 20% profits over the grid with a incredibly high win rate. It's been the way I grind. But today, let's pull that curtain back and talk about a different style of trading. You got to have the time in the market to determine when it's good to use this strategy. These predetermined dates that we use can simultaneously help give us the safety of these high accuracy style trades. The beautiful thing about it, sometimes you get unlimited upside on these short-term moves. They keep going. So you don't sell all of them. You hold it and squeeze it. The combination of win rate plus upside in our back test has shown the power to scale even a small amount. And simply by following along with these predetermined dates listed on the calendar right here, the 25-cent trades double, even triple. Like the very next one we did in January. Most people probably search for the internet to see what some expert was saying. Okay. And that's good. Now, anyone with their hands on this calendar could ignore all that response, glanced on January 17th, did the setup, clicked the trade, 101.8% within 24 hours. That's what I like. Now, that's not hard work, but it's time to pay attention, take notes. Don't trade these every day. You trade them when you have these big moves. And the big moves come from the reports. Check the calendar, place your trade. As long as the trade was entered on the date listed on your calendar before the market's closed, you're ready to go. Know what else is going on. You do the process. Enjoy yourself. Now, here I am throwing that football with my granddaughter. She was over tonight. We had breakfast tonight. Now, I'm not doing any golfing right now. It's too cold, but I will when it warms up. And if everything worked out, you watch that initial investment more than double in 24 hours. Now, in that case, 2,500 on that one could have turned into 5,000. One of my biggest gains last year was when the market on August fell and I had a boatload of those 25-cent options on a down market. And boy, it went down. That low of the year happened when I had this thing loaded up. Now, I keep talking about these predetermined dates. They give you the exact minute to get in, like you know when it's going to occur, when to look for. And while that's definitely what we're aiming for, I remind you, nobody has that magic 8 ball. Nobody can predict the future. Any strategy is going to be winners and losers, so never bet the farm on any one set. Got to use level bets is what you got to do. And there's a reason I can tell my students to only take 25-cent trades on these specific dates. Now, this graph here should open your eyes. This graph here gives you an illustration, okay, of the movement in the market. Take a look at that graph. Most days, it's the percentage movement for the past 10 years plotted on the chart. Each individual dot represents a single day. Between these two lines is the number of days where the S&P moved less than 1%. So the majority of the time, the market's not going to move. But outside those lines, where you get your big movement. That's where the reports are, and that's where the market gets shook. That's days the S&P will move over 1% plus or more. This chart right here is the basics of the foundation of this strategy. Remember, the stock market's flat about 70% of the time. That's because most of the time in the S&P there's a churn going on. Churn, eating up your option premium. That's why you got to be very careful of your time of entry and your time of exit. 7 out of 10 trade days, the market doesn't really go anywhere. Options eat up that time decay, and you're paying for it. That's why you've had options expire. Anybody ever had options expire? That's why. That's why I like to sell options, except on these dates. Now, Mercantile reported that 76% of options expire worthless. You're fighting a strong wind there, aren't you? Now, if you've been trading investments for a while now and have struggled to make consistent profits, watch the markets go higher, higher, while your retirement can't barely move, now it's been explained. Not because you're a bad trader, not because you're not smart enough. The majority of the time, stock market barely moves. Think about the ranges these stocks get in. And that's what crushes most trading accounts. Trading when they shouldn't be trading. Now, if you're only able to hone in on those big days, whether it's up or nine, and then take that strategy with these small price options, you got something now. As you'll see, these dates when some of the biggest moves in the stock market are not random at all. In fact, they're all predetermined on that calendar where you know when those dates are. And the predetermined dates, we've seen these, they call them dirt cheap options, double, even triple, sometimes overnight. Like in February of last year, 25-cent trade, wasn't looking so great. Months Wall Street had been baking in higher interest rates. Fed had other plans. News made you want to sell. Report came out. These 25s went. Sure enough, the very next day, you had a 391% gain. That's a 25-cent option, went up that much, folks. That'll make you smile. Now, again, the biggest one we've seen so far for study, but I want to remind you there's no strategy is perfect. You'll take one of those. That erases a lot of sins, as I say. Going to be big wins, small wins, and losers along the way. That's just how it works. But you plan for that. We're holding nothing back, every detail behind the complete back test we ran. And there's no doubt you'll be impressed with the results that we've been able to do with these 25-cent trades. After his inauguration, the swift implementation of new policies creating even more opportunity, and we'll see these 25-cent trades become even more reliable than ever before. In a minute, let's focus. But first, let me explain what's really going on. You see, every month there's a handful of these key reports I keep alluding to, published by the U.S. government, can really move the market. Actually, there's 5 reports you got to pay attention to, and the dates these reports come out. Write these reports down. That's when this trade is an active strategy. These reports are typically published in the morning before the opening bell, so you got to get in the night before. And I'll show you they've set up some of the lucrative trading days we've seen all year by placing that 25-cent trade before the market report hits. Sit back and grin. Sometimes they even triple in the blink of an eye. Take a look at what one did on February 22nd. 21 cents all we paid for that. We got in at a discount. It's discount day in the 25-cent market. The next morning at 8:30, just before the stock market was open for a day, jobless claims report was published. By the time the opening bell rang, the S&P shot higher. Up we went, $150 overnight if you'd been invested in the S&P. On a 25-cent trade, you got a different stake, 2,381. So S&P with the same money, roll it into these 25-cent options. That's leverage, folks. That is the pure definition of leverage right there. That's about 16 times better than making only 1/20th the cost per position. Now you made money, but you didn't make a lot. These trades are like magic when they happen. Chris said the 25-cent on XLE picked up over 3,500. We're going to have a lot of opportunities with XLE, especially when oil, the back of oil is broken. And I'll explain that when we get close. Or debit. She says she doesn't have words to express how I spend these trades out in one day and out the next. Let me show you another example. Here's one on March the 6th, first of the month. Mark the calendar on March the 6th. Forget about the market when you have one of these reports because it really depends on the report itself, shaking up the market, how the market reviews that report. 1% fell that day. A lot of folks steered clear from the stock market on an ugly day like that, but it set up a perfect setup. 25-cent trade, get in on March the 6th, out the next day after the U.S. government published their report, maybe grab dinner with a friend, and by the time the opening bell rang, you had 134% gain. That's usually a typical setup. They throw you what I call a wash and a rinse, and then they go the other way. Each one has their own trading opportunity throughout the month, and they're powerful. They make up all the opportunity where you get big movement. Now, look at this chart of the S&P 500. Most people know the S&P 500 is a new bull market, extremely hot run, right? Most people don't realize is that if you highlight these major economic reports, this is an eye-opening chart. Pay attention. If you highlight these major economic reports and remove those from that trend, the chart gets totally dismantled from an unstoppable bull market to a sideways market. That illustrates the power of these reports. Outside of those predetermined dates, especially with options, is a dangerous game. Fast track to losing money if you're trading options during that time period. But by isolating these explosive dates, this is the strategy, that's where the money's made. Now, this special calendar with all these dates for 2025 is mapped out in advance. Critical instruction on how to set the trades for optimum results. And you can be part of the 2025 25-cent trade. Rhymes, doesn't it? 25-cent trade, 2025. All you do, take that trade. Next time one pops, like we did with the ticker PAAS back in April, 55% gain on that one. Or XSP, 64 on that one. Another XSP, 122%. The tickers that set up will change, but the strategy is the same. 25 cents for the options, out the next day. Now, nice buffer. Maybe paying off a car loan, planning a vacation. Boy, that looks good in this cold weather, doesn't it? But just save for that rainy day. Now, those are some serious financial burdens that could have been lifted in 3 simple trades. After seeing the actual power of these predetermined dates on the chart, you should admit, hey, I'm on to something big time. Don't trade any other way. Don't be foolish. But now you might be wondering, can you go ahead and pick any option every time one of these dates pop up? Of course you can't, folks. If that easy, everyone would already be doing it. We have a certain criteria we look for in different tickers for each report, and that strict set of criteria is followed. If it sets up, we take the trade. Filter out a lot of information, some of it technical, some of it just straightforward. Find the right 25-cent option, the right strike price, right expiration date, and we set the trade with outlined profit targets to stop where we're going to get out. A lot of work, but we do it when those reports are setting up. We do all the heavy lifting, following along the trade. It's no more difficult than riding that old bike on a pretty summer day. Using basic call or basic put options, play the market either way when it sets up, and you can do it in 401ks or in your IRA. Now, these 25-cent trades are being shared with you. As we see Trump's new economy, his huge market moving events have the potential to multiply. You actually get more if he's got a special press conference, like the one he held yesterday. And so far from the private trade alerts with our students, we've actually outperformed testing so far. Monica loves him. Look at what she did. Or Doug caught that big trade, 400% gain, low risk. David has had a good run, quick, clean, and straightforward. Now, think about joining, think about being part of it. Join this opportunity as we kick off 2025. With Trump assuming office and swiftly rolling out his new policies, these opportunities are going to multiply and be even more lucrative than last year. And you really can't afford to miss out this time around. So, In a minute, I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. But if you're one of the ones that joined me for the economic events of this year under the Trump administration, you'll get your access to the new calendar we created and the dates listed. Then I need to hear from you this very minute. If this is something that sort of hits home with you, that you want to take advantage of, get on board. We call it Tom Busby's 25-cent trader. I don't know any other place that you can trade these type options with such skill and cunning. I mean that. We'll be shooting for a double, even triples on some days. And once you claim your discounted spots that we're going to open up tonight, it makes financial sense. Now, from the same economic events that I've been highlighting, recommend these trades to anybody that wants to trade when the odds are in their favor. You get everything I believe you need to place a trade. There's a new trade alert right there, comes right to you, tells you the ticker, where we're opening and the price we're paying. Very simple. The analysis behind it and the option criteria we're using to get in. Copy that trade, put it in your account, and you have a shot for the next trade. In that case, 180% gain on January 31st. Put 2,500 on that trade, you got paid 4,500 overnight. Now you're ringing the bells. Of course, the exit alert comes when we do the trade. You know where to close out. You never left out there hanging. And to make sure you always get instant alert to this, you get the email, cell phone, and the beautiful Telegram network that I love gets the trades. If you're at the beach with friends, out playing golf, or if I'm teaching like in Sawgrass this year, June 2nd and 3rd, you never have to miss out. Take the trade. If you choose, get in there, then you're all set. Now, the next piece of the membership is designed with very specific entry prices, stop losses, and profit targets, shooting for the optimum gains while we're holding on to these losers for too long. In other words, we get out of it at a certain percentage drop. And that's really the big benefit. The automatic exit plan. You know that going in. We're going to close out based on time, by the way. And that way you set the trade, walk away, go back to what you're doing, and exclusive information how to automatically protect against those ones that don't work out. Not just that. I know some of them newer to trading may have never traded options before. We got a whole course to teach you what you need to know to do this. The most basic form available. No spreads, condors. Now, we'll do some bonus trades sometimes when they set up to give you some extra action, but nothing like that. Special trading will teach you the options all the way from the rookie level to the pro level with our course called Options Made Simple. Ready to go. You don't have to wait on it. You start on it tonight, get ready to go. And there's a reason I've included this in-depth training. Since 2020 pandemic, we've seen these major economic reports only become more and more impactful. In other words, what that means is every time you have one of those reports, more people are watching those reports and you get more volume after reports, which means that's more action. The predetermined dates get more powerful as more and more people understand the power of these reports. Even Wall Street's figured it out using zero options to expirations. Fastly growing. Now, the key ingredient to this is not paying a lot for the options. We limit it to 25 cents. Plan them, use them to target doubles, even triples. Even hedge your portfolio sometimes with these things. The students love it when it's in play or in season like it is right now. So if you've seen it work or been part of it, it's time to go again. Rhonda says she loves it. You can have a small account and trade like a big guy. Small risk, great reward. Or Bruce said, 25-cent trade, in less than 24 hours, you see results. Sue said, it's fun doing this. Why? Who? loves the wins. 25-cent trade is so good, I think this membership could go as high as 10,000 or even more. It's just a matter of numbers and what you're thinking on the price for the elite members today. Our team, we want to make it affordable. Instead of the $6,997 for the elite package, what we've done is make it very affordable for anybody that wants to be part of it. Now, we had fun in the price. We cut the price down, $34.97 for the year. Because I'm live tonight, this is when you want to buy it. Folks, here in this room, it's about to get even better. That's because 3 special bonuses are lined up. Lifetime elite member discount. That's bonus number 1. That means one time you come in, you in the door, you'll get it every year. The lifetime elite member discount, anyone takes action tonight in the next few minutes. Then we shut that down. $1,000 off the price of a lifetime membership immediately that you save. So $34.97 for 1 year is a heck of a deal, but $24.97 for life is a steal. We're going to drop the link right now. I think they're going to limit the number they take, and it will be active as long as you see my smiling face. Now, won't run you to $24.97 if you join the 10x value guarantee. Trade this, take the trade for real money, paper trade until you learn how to do it. If you decide we don't meet your objectives, education what you wasn't looking for at 10 times what you paid, keep the trading calendar and move on. Now, I'm confident you'll love it the way I do, and that brings me to the final bonus. Hit the ground running fast you ever could imagine. We'll take 50 trades off the price, which is $25 a pop. That gets you on your feet, lap ahead of everyone else if you take advantage of this offer. So your membership gets credited on us, $12.50 off, so only $12.47 for a lifetime deal. Whoa! They went overboard on that one. Now, jump in, take advantage of it. Don't be on the outside looking in. Never procrastinate when it comes to trading. Now, you read my emails about the results we're getting with new members. Don't procrastinate. Do not procrastinate. Take one of the discounted memberships. As I'm live tonight, you get the best value. Go to dtitrader.com/25 cents or call 904-416-1776 and press 1. Click the link in the chat. He's going to post it. There it is, dtitrader.com/25 cents. Pretty cool stuff, isn't it? Ready to go? Let's get on board. It's time to watch these reports and take advantage of it. I think you're going to find out learning this type strategy comes handy throughout the year. Get in the next one we do this very week. Don't miss a new trade opportunity. dtitrader.com/25 cents. Call 904. Lock in your lifetime VIP. A lot of love letters like this. Love how quickly you make up lost ground, according to Pamela. Another 4X plus the 25-cent option just might make us both smile. Patrick says, it's the greatest trade of all time. I love it. Okay, Brian loves the risk reward I set up. A lot of stories like this, books thick. Now, this also includes now the find time for a dime. Let me explain. How much money is needed? All the trades cost right around 25 cents. That means you only need about 25 cents per contract. Now, will every trade be winner? Of course not. No strategy wins 100% of the time. You play the numbers. So you worry about the downside. It doesn't matter with this strategy. We go with what the reports tell us. That's the beauty of it. Not holding these for long periods of time. They're cheap options. Either pay us, put us in, coach, or take us out of the game. Well, you got to look at this. Can you trade an IRA 401k? Absolutely. What's the next one? You got to get on board. It's coming. All the predetermined dates are recorded for 2025. See what makes them so explosive? Go to dtitrader.com/25 cents. Folks, there it is right there, front and center. Get joined, be part of it. Don't leave tonight unless you part. Sue, there's a basic five trades a month, but sometimes, like when you have oil breaking or gold moving, you can do it in those two markets. That's a bonus when those happen. Okay? You don't need a lot, not with this accuracy. Any other questions? Great question, Sue. Great question. Folks, I told you at the first of the year, there'll be a time to watch and a time to trade. We're in the time to trade and make some hay. Don't procrastinate during this time period. This is when it gets good, not like it was 15 or 20 days ago. No, it doesn't, Craig. Straight call, straight puts is all it requires. Buy a call option, the underlying goes up, you make money. Buy a put option, the underlying goes down, you make none money. Now you understand call options and put. What you don't have is the ticker, and what you don't have is the expiration date that I figured out works the best. That's what you're going to have. I want a lot of trades to figure it out. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Get on board. Get on board. Folks, I just went through it. You hadn't heard me talk about it because the strategy wasn't prevalent after November, but now it is. It's time to pay attention. All right, I laid it out for you. Anybody got any other questions they want me to answer? I can't believe how low they got that price for a year. No, it's lifetime. Goodness. We got so many people that that's a heck of a deal. If you're not lifetime, you can upgrade. Way to go, Sue. Congratulations. She's in. All right. That's super. All right, Sue. All right, folks. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. Be part of it. Watch that nuclear tape that I did. But join this. Be part of this program. You'll love it. I'm ready, Mike. I like that. Moolah. The 25 cent moolah trade. You know, a lot of people didn't realize that this segment of the market, they get you buying, $5, $6, $7 options. I mean, 25 cents. That's the most we pay. You gotta love it. So if you bought four of them, right? If you bought four options, you're talking $100. Uh, that's a little bit more active in answer to your question. Okay, Scott, that will be a little bit more active. Okay, that particular strategy. Well, folks, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna end on Mike's line. Let's make some moolah. Oh, moolah. Oh yeah, yeah. I think. New bar, I think we put out, Jonathan can verify that. I think I've had 12 alerts, trade alerts that's gone out in the last 8 days, maybe more. 12 total. I think 12 for 12. I'm on a run again. So listen up and be part of it. T-Buzz. All right. Thank you for being part of this tonight, taking advantage of this. Let's go after it tomorrow. Send an email to Roe at DTI Trader New Bar. He'll help you. Be glad to. Nathan, it depends on what happens in Germany. All right. So y'all have a great day. I'll see everybody on the flip side. And as I always say, what I always say, see you on the flip side. Thank you.